Yeah, but girl, parallel lives, because we, you second guess stuff because we did a whole nother thing with it, because we aging and our backs changing, so we like, well, we probably need a new mattress. But before we did, God is be looking after us, things be aligning. So before we did, his sister was talking about a topper. Now we have a topper. We have a little 1-inch topper, because when we got the memory foam just a few years ago, that shit was hot as fuck, and I was just going through my hot flashes, and that just wasn't gonna be good. So we got a little 1-inch cooling topper for that. But so while we was talking about our backs and what have you, she was like, oh well, you could get she was talking about the 3-inch toppers, because we never looked at that like that. We just got.
What's a topper?
And so yeah, so you just put it on top, and we just got a little 1-inch one that was a cooling topper, because the memory foam was so hot to me, so hot. I didn't even know it did that. But then as I did more research, I heard other people saying, that shit is hot. It's hot no matter what. So we got the cooling topper, but we never thought in terms of anything thicker for actual support. So she was saying, no, they have like 3-inch toppers. You can get firm or whatever. So we just kind of considered it. And we started looking at stuff. And girl, we ordered a 3-inch topper, and it was so good. Because it complains because I put fucking post office boxes. I get one of them huge boxes, cardboard boxes. And I would put it under the topper for because I need firmness. So he's like, every time I roll over on that thing, I was like, well, it's what it is. But anyway, the point is, we got a topper, and it was perfect. I'm so glad. I'm like, people don't never need to have to spend all their money on no whole ass mattress. You could get a 3-inch topper, and that'll change the whole dynamic of your entire bedding. Yeah, we got that thing, and I was like, golly, I regret we got the last mattress. We should have just got a topper. A thick ass topper. Yeah.
You get the right topper, you got the mattress.
You got a whole new mattress. I was like, nobody needs a new mattress unless you just got literal bugs in your shit. You get you a thick one, spend some money on it, spend a couple $100 on it. And get you a mattress, and get you a topper, and a thick enough one that got it the right whatever you need, and you got your new mattress. Period.
I got about 9 tomatoes on my plate.
Good. Them ain't your first tomatoes, though, is it?
No, this is the patio tomato.
Oh, good. Okay. They blushing yet? Or they ain't big enough? I hope they make it before it get cold.
Me too. I do too.
You could, if they have time to get a little bigger out there, you could also have your little fried green tomatoes too. I remember an old boss used to bring me fresh eggs from his coop. I guess I didn't realize, I can't guess, I just didn't. I didn't realize I never had fresh eggs, because they kind of made me kind of gassy. Eggs don't do that to me. I love to eat me some eggs. I'm an egg eater all kinds of ways. But yeah, I noticed that the yolk, I like knowing that stuff, from experience, that I wouldn't have known, that probably you ain't reading in a book. But the fresh eggs, like the yolk was super yellow, was a lot yellower than, when you get the eggs in the store. And it was a lot richer. Like the flavor was a lot richer, almost heavy even. And to the point where I don't know if I would, it was delicious and very rich, but I don't know if I would prefer it, on a regular basis. If I had space and the mental capacity to want, I don't even want one, to even want a chicken coop though, I would love to have fresh eggs, because just like with gardening, you could get stuff from the store and it's just as fine, but it's a little more fulfilling and flavorful, She one of them people, chickens and horses. I don't be watching her, but I followed her for like probably a year. But I know she one of those horse people and animal in general. Girl, who you talking to? I got people. I know they probably don't even mean no harm, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Y'all getting exercises and shit in? Y'all get on?
I did yesterday.
You did? That's good. What you laughing for? You laughing? Yeah, what's crazy is it seemed like I lose weight when I skip, and then I feel so guilty. I'm finna stop feeling guilty about skipping, because it seemed like when I skip, that's probably that muscle recovery shit though. But it seemed when I like.
You know what I think it is? I think it's your psychological release from being that psychological hostage to have to keep doing it. I think once you let go of that, the endorphins say, "Oh, thank you," and your body do what it's gonna do naturally anyway. Because I swear you're right.
That makes sense, but that makes sense. Cause I'll be like, we'll be like, yeah, he'll be like, you want to skip today? And I'll be like, I don't know. But I'll be like, I want to skip. But then when we finally, when we have other stuff to do, we taking care of some of his families or whatever, and we don't have time. And then the next day or the day after, I'll be like, bro, 3 more pounds just dipped on me, and I'm not mad, but I was feeling guilty about, I was like, but every time we end up skipping, I randomly drop another 3 pounds from somewhere.
Yeah, and I noticed that. That's the real truth. I bet the law of physics agree with that.
Yeah, girl, I'm not playing no games with at least you know what to do or not to do. But I got some back tweaks that be sneaking up on me for no motherfucking reason and not moving no mother particular way. Like, I might just be taking a slight step to the left and that thing be like, bitch. You remember how you used to describe when I started being able to relate to the knee issue? Like, I remember you coming to the hotel and you said something about something about your knee. Something about your knee. And it's like that. And I'm like, shit. And like, for no reason. It ain't like, it don't have to be no pressure, no exercise. I could be literally doing nothing, or I could be leaning up into like sitting in a chair, but sitting back in the chair and just be scooting up just to get on the edge to look closer, and that'll do it. Anything. And so I'm really trying to and so I really use my little yoga breaths with everything. That seems to be very helpful, and actually losing a little bit more weight has been very helpful as well. But because I don't want no, just like you, we both on the same page. I don't want no smoke with no pharmaceutical nobody during this time, before, during, or after this time. So I'm just going to avoid it unless it's absolutely necessary. I really need to call and go ahead and get my. I done paid for it and everything, but they got my little post on for my tooth, and I still have. I was supposed to go back in March to get them to do a little mold so they can get it and just put it on there. I got a post sticking out of my gums just because I haven't wanted to go to the dentist. I was like, just the concept of them going in my mouth, and maybe I'm doing too much, but everybody got the excuse. It's where we are. So.
I know, I get it.
I was thinking in my mouth,
You ever seen? Because I ain't going to get no cleaning.
Yeah, right? They talking about, and I know they're going to try to squeeze it in together. I was like, unless you could squeeze it in the same day, but that don't matter because I ain't been to get none of it. I ain't about that life. But at the same time, I'm looking at stuff realistically, and I don't want to have no urgent tooth pain because you already, even before the klandemik, you could get that's one emergency. You go to the hospital for anything, but you gonna have to go to the hospital for your dental work. Yep, because the dentist ain't open 24 hours. So I just don't want them to sneak up on me. Neighbors having parties. I don't know what was going on this weekend. I was like, it must have been because these fools are going in.
Who had a party?
Neighbors, like several different neighbors was having parties with 30 motherfuckers and shit. I was like, get down. We definitely had that. We had a kid's birthday party across the street yesterday. But it was other gatherings. That was just gatherings. So yeah, everybody moving on like ain't nothing going on. So, which I expected. So, good luck to them. I hope they make it. I just don't. I just like to be aware of who is who and who believes what, so I know how sorry to be if and when they get sick or you know what I mean. Cause I have to reserve my It's too much, it's too much to be, for our emotions to get triggered. I can't get triggered by it. I just be like, just like I going now, hanging out or whatever. Because, if I got to prepare myself. If one of y'all get, sick, I just need to know that, I can't be mad at the world. I'm over here, so I just want them to be safe. Just every state, everybody, everything is what it is. And that's cool. That's good. It got to be, so that's cool. God is be setting the situation up. So we was gonna go to we usually would go to always drive by this other place. So we decided, well, fuck it. We called first to make sure they have a mask requirement, because if they don't, we already know they Trump people, and we ain't finna mess around. So which they all are anyway, because I ain't no black ranger. I would like to think not, but I know you be all sweet and shit.
You got me fucked up.
Okay. But I don't know nothing about it, no way. So, and I got too much other stuff on my plate to even be worried about that right now. But everything's going on at the same time. Then more funerals than ever. But it's not unexpected. So
that's true.
So good luck with that whole list of shit.
I'm like, I don't know how.
Oh man, I miss y'all so much, so much.
I miss just being light.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you hydrate. You probably need to pull out that humidifier. Last night he was keeping us both up, talking about something. And I was like, that's that mucus thickening up because you ain't drinking enough water. You gotta drink water, man. Good of it. And the police, they came with masks, so I was glad to see that. And I was, standing guard in the garage because I ain't not with my husband. Then he went to the home improvement store and fixed it himself, because obviously he was gonna have to if he wanted to get it done. But yeah, it turned.
A hole in the fence?
Yeah, they got some new. I don't know if it's her new boyfriend's dog or whatever, but they got a pit mix or something that's back there. And he was running around. I don't even know if it's their permanent dog, because I don't always see him over there. But anyway, the dog, I don't know how he did it, but a whole, we got a privacy fence. So a whole slat of the fence had a hole in it big enough to where the whole slat might as well have been on the ground in front of things. Because we were just sitting out, that's when his schedule was changed for the pandemic, so he was home early enough for us to sit out on the deck. So he would come home and we would spray him down and we would go out on the deck for a little while. And he was sitting down in the chair. He was saying, he was like, what is that? And he saw a whole hole through the fence, and that's how he saw it. So he went over there, and it was and you could see the dog over there. The dog couldn't fit through the hole, but it was clear that I don't know if the kids broke it or if the dog broke it or whatever. And then she said she didn't know whose fence that was.
The fence around her and y'all house?
Yeah. Yeah, bitch. She's like, well, I didn't know. She's like, and then he asked her something else. Of course, you know how we do, set people up to expose themselves. And then she said, well, I saw some wood over there, but I didn't know whose fence it was. Like, even if she thought that the people before her in the house bought that fence, well, the other three sides of your fence don't look like that. But the other sides of our fence look exactly like that. Whose fence did you think it was? But again, by now you could tell she was just saying anything to exempt herself from any kind of accountability. And that's what pissed your brother off. That's what pissed him off. Especially since he's been there for them. We ain't asked them for shit because, I don't talk to nobody. But they done asked us for stuff. They done asked us for stuff that he had to say no to because he was like, I see how they do theirs. They not finna tear up my lawnmower. They not finna tear up my snowblower. I'm not gonna do it. And he didn't lie. He was like, nah, man. He's like, I don't loan my stuff out like that, right? And now he don't regret because something was wrong with the dude's mower, a mower that he got. I don't know if he got off Craigslist or got from somebody, but he could have fixed it. But he was like, no, because this guy don't even act like they don't act like they care about their property. Because he would be glad, not only would he fix it, he would have been glad to fix it for them if they were just genuinely, like decent people. But they tried it. Oh, and so what I was getting to is now, so I guess I'm assuming that her boyfriend is this white guy that's been around with no shirt on and his stomach and scratching his belly with tattoos. And I'm like, oh, she's Hank's Sarah Bartman. That's what that is. And I was like, now, you know what? Now I feel no bad. I call them not the Brady Bunch. I call them, because he got 3 kids and she got 3 kids. And all 6 of them bastards be running all upside the place. And the ringleader is his white girl. Ooh, she's a little Becky. Oh, they be out there. I be glad the little kids having fun, enjoying themselves. But when you know how the parents are, it makes you cautious about the kids. So. So, Shaniqua done hooked up with Hank now. And I was like, now it makes sense, her telling you. I was like, what a black woman look like telling a black man in this day and age when he's coming to her about his property that she feels threatened? Like, who would say that? I was like, wow. Yeah. So, I all my compassion for me feeling bad, because I was like, don't call the police on her now, not in the pandemic. Fuck her. Fuck her and Hank and the blended bunch. I sure hate it got to be like that, but, good luck to her. Good luck to her, because I done seen a lot of stuff going on right now. I wish her the best. I think she just had a lot of nerve to jeopardize him when he has done, I can't say so much for them, but,
I'm tripping on you talking about how does a black woman, I'm like, not just a black woman, a bitch that obviously been asked, wasn't threatened whenever she asked for his assistance.
Right! Okay, you with me? And why would that come out of your mouth for that? For him literally asking you about his damaged property that you lying right now and first said you didn't know about, and then you said you saw some wood but you didn't know whose fence it was, and now you feel threatened because he asked. He's like, what? Okay, you know what, but I don't mind, because that relinquishes me from having to from feel like I'm embarrassing him with my antisocialness. I'm free. I ain't got to worry about it, because your brother just as sweet as he want to be. Well, thank you, girl next door. You hooked me up.
Right. I ain't got to worry about.
Cause he would have had his ass over there mowing their lawn and doing all kind of shit for them in the name of helping them out. He sure would have been doing it. And he ain't got that. He ain't got time to be doing that right now, because he got a whole nother house to keep up now.
That's where his mama them.
Yep.
How they doing?
They all right. This girl she fuck around when she lost her husband, and it was not a good thing that she had to experience that grief. But if that bitch didn't grow up like I thought she never would, honey, I wouldn't even be mind. I mean, like, I don't even mind being around her socially at this stage where she is right now. It's a trip. I be telling her too. I need to let her know. I be like, girl, you're just so beautiful these days. And she knows, I know. And she's like, I don't think anybody understands, since I lost. She's like, just things are different. I have different priorities. I was like, if nobody else can tell, bitch, I can tell. Look at you. You know, and she gave me a plant that she had got for the funeral, because she got one for, and I guess it was dying, and so she took it to a florist. So now the florist is not as accessible because of the era and the times. So she knows her sister-in-law be on some plant shit. So she asked me to to see what I could do with it, which I'm glad to do. You know, I don't have a problem doing that. I actually wanted to surprise her and maybe wait till like an occasion and bring it back to her, because it's doing really well right now. I was like, girl, that make me want to put all my energy into making sure your plant survive, girl. Don't worry. Mother Nature gonna help me out. Help you. I miss you. I would love to just hug you right now.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I'm hugging you as we speak. I'm doing it.
Thank you.
That's all I can do right now. I'm doing it now.
Thank you. That's plenty. But I always feel your love anyway, and I always have. Like even when I was away from you, I always feel your love in the world.
Well, good. I'm glad you do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say when you was talking about the mattress earlier. That was the example I was gonna use. Like it would be fucked up to have bought a whole new mattress and it still don't do what you meant for it to do. When you could have, you know what I mean? So it's like, even if you get when you replace something, that is nothing was wrong with it, but you just think it's quote unquote time to replace them. Even with the new and improved stuff, you can just take that improved off sometimes, because you'd be like, shit, I should have just kept the one I had, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what I'm saying. I don't like it. It ain't broke. I don't like to fix it.
It never did make sense to me either.
Yeah,
you know your sister, and so I went into the mode on him with the other stuff. I didn't want ring. Like whatever happens, I don't want ring. Well, what he ended up doing is just setting up a surveillance cameras that we have. We used to have something that we used to watch. When we came out there, we had it, and we used it to watch while we was traveling, so we could watch him in every room that he would go in. Mm-hmm. And so, but since then, he just set up some. I was like, you just nosy. You want to see me in the garden and shit. You want to see when I leave and come back, where I'm going. Get out my business.
That's what I told TJ.
Right, I said, get out my motherfucking business, bro. Right. And he was like, you think I don't even be. I was like, get out my business. I know you do that shit. You be looking to see what the fuck. Right. He like, did you go out the house today? Look at your motherfucking surveillance and see if I went out the house today.
Right.
Ask me, did I go out the house today? Don't never ask me that shit when I know that you can look and see. Or even if I've been in the garden or to the post. He know when I go to the post office too. Yeah, the post office. Or when he mostly get it though, because when he's expecting a package from Amazon or whatever order something, a tool or a part that he done ordered, he like to see it out there, and he don't like to sit out on the porch too long, which I don't blame him. And so sometimes I might forget that he has something coming, and it don't need to be out on the porch, too all day. So, but to me, that's not relative to our surveillance, because them motherfuckers take a picture of it on the porch and they send it to you. So You don't need to see all that extra shit. But I ain't mad, because, I do want him to be aware of everything, because he know how to fix whatever the fuck it is. Whatever the problem, yeah, you fix it. Look, this what happened. Handle it. Oh, and something still you remember I told you I found a little skull on the side of the garden? I went out there last week, and I knew something was awry, because I kept getting a whiff of death. And then it was all these gnats and flies, literal flies. When I saw the flies, I was like, oh, something gone. Something got around this motherfucker. And so I was like, where is it? I started trying to follow the smell, you know what I'm saying? So I went on the side where I saw the skull that time. Bitch, fur was everywhere. I was like, oh, something got like a motherfucker. I was like, ain't gonna be no more gardening in the evening now. I ain't playing. I don't even know what's getting a hold of these motherfuckers. But whatever it is ripping heads off and shit. I don't want to meet it. And the hawks are already comfortable. The hawks are domesticated at this point.
The what?
Hawks. Yeah, them motherfuckers they're laying right on the fence like they live in one of the houses. We've seen clusters of like between 5 and 11 of them at a time sometimes. It's different from Mother Nature in all kinds of ways, weather and animals alike. All kind of stuff that's gonna be interesting. I said, I guarantee you we start seeing animals that motherfuckers ain't never seen too. And I was like, people don't be thinking about shit like that, but they got other stuff to think about. Everybody got excuse. It's on everybody's mind. But I'm like, you know what? Watch and see, because people ain't thinking about it. California's on fire. Other motherfucking places get flooded. The animals see it before it's coming, so they getting themselves prepared. Then they gonna start roaming. What you think they gonna do? They gonna wind up somewhere else. So it's gonna be some animals that motherfuckers ain't never seen. to show up places. We don't know what to call them hoes. Because humans think we know everything. And we done seen every animal there is. Wait till them motherfuckers get ran over here. What kills me is black people that don't eat pork for all other reasons too. Like it's some people. I in Chicago, I have seen a horde of a population of the culture say that they don't eat pork because it get them nightmares. I ain't never heard that shit so much in my life, and I'm like, I never heard that in my life. Like, what?
That it give you nightmares?
Yeah.
I wonder if my first question would be to them people. Okay, so let me ask you this. How many years has it been since you ate some pork?
Right.
And then when they say whatever many years, I say, okay, you ain't
had a nightmare. Right.
You know you done had a nightmare.
Right.
So then get you a pork chop and quit cheating yourself.
Girl, my brain can't even. I don't. And I'm not saying that's not valid because, again, in this world of the power of the human mind that people don't realize they have, whatever you believe, that's what it is for you. Okay, so it do give you nightmares because you believe it do. But like, what was the logic that made you believe it? Like, was it literally a person? Because somebody told you? Was it the person that told you? Was it a parent? Was it somebody you trusted? Were you young? Did you believe anything you heard? Like, what made you believe that there was a connection between pork chops and nightmares? No shade. I'm really curious about how that mind works because I feel like that's a mind that's susceptible to a lot of stuff, and I'm just curious. I be curious, like my sister. I be curious about shit and how people mind be like, what kind of logic? I mean, not like, not shady. What the fuck kind of logic? But what the fuck kind of logic? How did that end up being your truth in real life as an adult? I'm curious. I'm like, do it. Like, is it? Okay, well, I'll let aside. Do you think it even tastes good at least? Yeah, it tastes good, but give you nightmares, huh? Okay. Don't want you to have no nightmares. Let me get that other pork chop then over there.
Right.
You ain't gonna eat that.
Let me help you out.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you. Help me help you.
Yes, please. Please and thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, but let me get myself together. I gotta go return these USB ports that they bamboozled us with. Got from Amazon, and none of them ports work. You got about 6 ports on each one, and one plus one that says charging, and them shits don't even work. I wanted to crack the window, but I don't want to. It ain't gonna be. It's hot now, but it ain't gonna be easy to uncold it if I open the window. You know what I mean? Unless I cut the heat on, and it ain't time for that. I just don't want to go back and forth with the heat. It don't matter.
It's good talking to you, sister.
You too. I'm gonna talk to you again. I might call you when I get back.
Okay, I ain't going nowhere. I'll be around.
Okay. All right. I love you.
I love you too.
All right.
I'll talk to your ass real soon.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right. Be careful in the world.
I will. I ain't gonna be out there no longer. I need to be. I'm gonna hand this thing to these motherfuckers at the thing because that's what you can do. You don't even have to make it like you got they scan your code. You can give it to them in a bag, in a paper bag. You don't even have to put it in the box.
All right.
Yep. So.
That's right.
All right. I love you.
All right. I love you too, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.